I was such a sad boy when you caught my eye. You were only into bad boys. It would make me cry, and I would lie awake and think of you and all the things that we could do if I could only make you mine. I pass you in the hallway. You didn't know my name. I will love you always. It really is a shame. And I would lie awake, think of you and all the things that we could do if I could only make you mine. Could only make you mine. I wish that you were mine. So I bought a motorbike, a leather jacket too, and I got your name as my first tattoo. And I have really made you mine. Now this sad boy, bad boy, doesn't have to cry. No, this sad boy, oh, this bad boy, doesn't have to cry.
Wow, that was awesome. Welcome to Barn Time, everybody. That was the sounds of Francis Blume over here. He's our guest, as well as Ace Pelka. And I'm your host, Kyer, and I got our buddy Zach over here also hosting. Choo. So that was just an incredible song, and it sounded a little familiar. That was the first song on a really cool part that just came out of Ace's, skater over here. Ace the Skater at yahoo.com, first email. No, but really, we're really excited, and me and Ace go way back, and me and Francis haven't known each other too long, but I've been a big fan, and it's just an honor to do this fun little outdoor barn time session. We're here fireside, and we're trying to stay warm, and we're making sure we stay safe during this time that we're in. So just happy to be able to do this episode tonight. So that part, let's talk a little bit about that. It's called Creative Control, which I think is just such a cool name, and just kind of really,
thanks, dude.
Yeah, man, it just kind of defines, like Ace, you're just such a creative guy, and in everything you've done. We met working for Living Tea, doing kombucha delivery, which is
just
such
kombucha together, dude.
right.
Those are the days.
Yeah, man, it's such a like symbiotic thing, and just let's talk a little bit about that part. I mean, you were saying that it came out a lot later, but
yeah, that was pretty much all filmed last year, pretty much a 2020 part, and it was supposed to drop September. I mean, I got the music all set up from Trevor over here, and there was just a little delay. Took 4 more months, and I honestly didn't think it was gonna happen, but got a message like a week before the 5th, and they're like, all right, parts dropping the 5th. We just need this, this, and this. And I was like, all right, cool. I was like a good little beginning of the year thing, you know?
That's awesome. So, and lined up with your birthday too, right?
Yeah, it was like
Happy
2 days
birthday.
before my birthday, so that was sick.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, dude, I was so stoked to work with this guy and use his music, man. His music's so good.
It is. And maybe you could like tell us a little bit about that song. The lyrics are just incredible.
Yeah. So Sad Boy was it was like 2018, and my son was taking a bath, and he was like,
Oh.
I don't know, he wasn't even 2 yet. But he was just, I don't know, sometimes babies don't know why they're bummed. They just are. Well, they know why. We just don't know why. And so he was like, he had to be younger than that, though, because he like wasn't really talking, because I didn't know why he was mad or sad. So he's just like crying in the bath, and I was like, and I grabbed like this little toy guitar and started playing just to try and cheer him up. But at the same time, like lyrically, I was also like patronizing him. And so I was like, you know, kind of like egging him on, like, I was such a sad boy. Kind of like, you know. And anyways, I liked it, and I liked the way that like the chords kind of just started, and it was just real happy and easy, and then the chords got tighter. Dun, 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 dun. I was like, oh, that's fun. Like, you know, maybe I'll actually like write that into a tune. And then like 45 minutes later, Sad Boy.
That's
Wow.
That's how it usually
I
goes.
would have never
with the best
guessed.
songs.
Yeah, it's just like
Always wondered.
one thing, and then there it is. Boom.
That's awesome, man.
Who facilitated the song? Did you pick that song, or did you just...
I did.
Yeah.
It's actually my buddy Sean Aquendo.
Yeah.
I was looking for music, and we needed something we could get rights to, and he's like, dude, check out Francis Blume. And to be honest, I'm a little ashamed. I didn't even know you did music.
Yeah.
And he sends what's the suburban,
Oh, the suburbs?
the suburbs. He
Yeah.
sent me that one first, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is sick. But I listened to like all of them, like got what, like 40 songs.
Yeah.
I listened to all of them like
Yeah.
a few times, and I was like, this one, like I wrote down the ones that I just really liked, and like Sad Boy stuck.
Yeah.
And then
awesome.
I needed a second song, so that was the other one. But
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Is that better?
Just so everyone can hear you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It just worked. It worked good with the footage.
Yeah, and he reached
Nice.
out to me, and I was like, oh, man, like, damn, like, I get to be on Thrasher.
Because you
I'd always-
skate. You're a
yeah,
skater
I do
too,
skate.
right?
I'm just not good, anywhere near good enough to ever be on Thrasher. So I was like, this is my
your
way
chance.
in, dude.
Oh
This
my
is how I'm
God.
going to get on Thrasher, dude.
And you guys actually met skating at a church session, right? Because you, like you said, you didn't know
Yeah.
you did music, but you guys knew each other.
Yeah, when I used to run, well, me and a buddy of mine, we used to run like a skate night thing at a church in Vista, and we just like would have a bunch of ramps and stuff like that, and flat bars and everything, and we just pull them out like one night a week.
So fun.
Yeah, and just get like every like little grom from the whole neighborhood to like you get like all those kids skating, but then like Ace would show up, and it was
Yeah.
like, where the hell did this dude come from? Like, because
Right.
it was so sick. And yeah,
That's
we'd do
awesome.
that like every week. And but yeah, that was how Ace
Yeah.
and I met. We were just like,
That was
who
a
the
long
hell is
time
this
ago.
dude? Yeah,
I was
probably,
like 14 or 15.
yeah,
And my mom would just drop me off.
it was
just
so
skate
good.
hard for a couple hours and
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah, it was so, yeah, it was really fun. And we
Yeah.
did that for like a few years, but yeah, we started probably like 2013 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, a long time ago.
It's cool to
Yeah.
give that opportunity to the community. Like we're now currently right next to San Diego Academy, where there's a lot of epic skate spots throughout the years. But across the street, there's actually also a church where they would do a session like that.
Yeah.
And I used to always
Jeff
go there
King
too.
used to
Oh,
to
that
run
was Jeff King's one.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah, that's
over
right.
at the SD lot,
yeah.
I think,
Legend.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, a
I
lot
remember
of
that. Yeah,
a lot
all
of
the
rich-
rails out there.
right, a lot of rich skate history around here. And,
Oh, yeah.
it's cool. We were talking a little bit before, and on another episode, we've talked a lot about like extreme sports, especially skating, and song choice to the part, and kind of like it. Once it's down, it's like it's in history, and you're gonna affect a lot of people. Like a lot of us still remember parts in certain songs, and like you were, what was the specific one you had of?
Oh yeah, like
Rolling Stones song.
Like yeah, it goes both ways. Like you think of the part and then you hear the song, or if you just hear the song, you
Yeah.
think of the part. And so like
Yeah.
I was saying, like "Gimme Shelter" immediately just makes me think of Adrian Lopez. Every
Yeah.
time, like in his part in "Thrill of It All."
Yeah.
Like every time I hear that song play, and I like can just see. And because that's it, you watch those videos so much, like as a kid,
Oh, it's just in
you
your
literally
brain.
you know exactly what trick is
Yeah,
at
yeah.
what part of the song, and you're like, yep, that's when he backtailed the kink, and it's like, oh, like it's so yeah,
Totally.
and they totally like they just go like hand in hand.
Yeah, I've gotten so much of my music from skate videos, dude.
Yeah,
Like more than 50% of it, probably.
Dang, that's
Skate videos
crazy.
use good music.
they do.
You
Like
know?
they really do. It's like a great way to discover music. I guess just like a young kid, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and just like being exposed to all this different music, because like a good amount of it isn't on the radio, like, you know, not like, well,
totally.
I mean, Give Me Shelter with that example. Yeah, that song's all over the radio. But like a lot of the stuff, yeah, it's like not stuff you hear
Well,
on
Sad
the
Boy
radio.
isn't on the radio yet.
Yeah,
Not
Sad
yet.
Boy's not on
But
any
Might be on the
radio.
local radio.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to find music when you're making a part because you got to be able to get the licensing or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's it
And
right there.
Yeah, so it's really cool when people link up with local artists. And I mean, you're local, but man, your sound is so good that I'm sure that the waves are getting all around the world, and you know, they will, if they're not all the way around the world yet, they'll get there, because that's the power of music. And the coolest thing that it's just like one song. And I mean, my favorite part of music is songwriting and the song itself, because like anyone can get good and have feel and groove and whatever, but like the song is what touches people. And the voice, I mean, you have to be kind of born with a voice. I feel like, you know, you can like work on getting good at singing, but your voice is incredible, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, every person I've showed your music, they're like, "That's your friend? Like, he sounds like he's from the '60s." I'm like, I know.
that mic's from the 60s, right?
Yeah, this mic's from the 60s.
Oh my god.
Some of the shit I use is from the
You
60s.
definitely have that old soul, I feel. Like,
Yeah.
do you get that a lot, or do you feel
Yeah,
like you resonate
I do
with
get that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
People say that, and
It hits the core. It's comforting. It's like a warm blanket.
yeah.
It's really nice.
Which we could use right now because
We
it's
probably-
pretty damn cold.
Pretty
out here.
cold. You need another jacket.
The fire's a little far from us.
We got a fire, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
I don't
should have
feel
got
it.
a little closer. Well, otherwise, if we were too close, though, the smoke would get on that beautiful
Yeah,
guitar
see,
right
and that's
there.
why I gotta keep it.
Let's talk about that guitar. You want to tell us the story?
Yeah. So I entered a songwriting contest that this company, the company that made the guitar, Rockbridge Guitars, they put on, and they just posted like a video on Instagram, and it was just like, and it's a really funny video. Like, you'd have to look it up or something, or I'll share it. So if anybody really like wants to look it up, but or you can just find it on Rockbridge's Instagram account. And it's this funny video, and Dave Matthews is like doing like the voiceover, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Brian Calhoun," and he's like narrating as if he's the guy. Brian Calhoun is one of the co-founders of Rockbridge Guitars, so he's like reading his words. And it's hilarious. And so then it pans over, and it's Dave Matthews like reading the script. And so it was like the way that the video was, that like, because I'm not like a songwriting contest guy, like I'm not like that kind of stuff doesn't interest me really, like, you know, that kind of thing, or like singing contests, like The Voice or any of that kind of contest kind of things just aren't very exciting to me. But I was like, oh, like it seemed so grassroots and cool, and like the judges were like these really, you know, awesome musicians that like I've looked up to over the years. And I was like, and obviously like the guitar that was the prize was like, it's a ridiculous guitar. I told them they're crazy for giving it away. It's like, you guys are either like extremely generous or crazy. And
Or both.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
and they're definitely not crazy. They're just really generous, like sweet people. But anyways, yeah, so I just, you know, picked a song, and one that I haven't even released yet, but I picked a tune, and then just you upload the video and do the hashtags or whatever. And yeah, 2 months later, because they had to sort through, like, there were like 1,300 submissions, and then
Wow.
they listened to every single one of them. And I got a DM, you know, from Brian at Rockbridge, and he's like, "Hey, do you have time for a call?" And I was like, "Yep, here's my number."
Damn.
And they called me. He's like, "Yeah, so the judges picked your song," and I was just like, "Holy shit!" Like, that was just like, that was it. And then, but I like also was like, I gotta kind of like play it cool and not like get too like out there like, "Oh my god!" Like, even though like inside I was like, "Oh my god."
Totally.
Kind of had to like, and anyway, so yeah, and yeah, like a week later, then it showed up my house, and it was just it was a very redeeming thing to happen at the end of 2020. We don't need to say like 2020.
Yeah, needless to say.
It sucked in a lot of different ways. It was great in a lot of different ways, but it kind of like redeemed the year. I was like, oh man, that was a really cool thing to have happened. Like,
awesome.
all right, we're good, because yeah, I found out in like December. But yeah, so that's it. And
That's
so now
awesome. Who were the judges?
Dave Matthews, Amos Lee, Emily King, John Alagia,
Wow.
and then Brian Calhoun. And John Alagia is a very very successful producer who's done stuff like John Mayer and Dave Matthews and Emily King and a bunch of other people, Jason Mraz and stuff like that. And so that was the other really cool part about the contest was your song is literally guaranteed to get heard by these people.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a huge, I mean, realistically, it was like, yeah, I would love to have that guitar, but like also, I mean, it was kind of like both parts. I was like very equal. I was like, man, that guitar is gorgeous. And like also, wow, like, you know, you get these people to listen to your song, you know, because I've been listening to Dave Matthews since I was in high school. Like, and so it was
surreal.
You know, kind of a cool thing to have like a little bit of like a connection kind of there. Like, and I was like, well, that was, pretty awesome.
You ever seen his live show?
Yeah, the one
the
like
band?
well, I've never been to a Dave Matthews show, but like one of my favorite records is him and Tim Reynolds at live at Radio City.
So good.
It's insane. Yeah, he's crazy.
It's only a matter of time before you'll be working with all those guys too, man. Like, I mean, they liked your song best, and that's saying something.
Yeah, that would be very, very, very cool.
Do you want to maybe play that one for us so everybody out there can hear it? The tune you did?
Absolutely.
And what's that one called?
This one, the song that I submitted for the contest is called One Way to Omaha.
Yeah.
So, here we are. See if I got mine. Okay, that's working. Sometimes when your lips get dry, you can't whistle.
Let me speak my mind for a minute or two and explain all the things that I don't love about you. Where do I start? How about your cheating heart? And those bright green wandering eyes, they really cut me down to size. Now you got me stuck in this infinite loop of letting go and holding on to you. And if I had a dime for every time I said that was the final straw, well, I'd have enough money in my pocket for that one way to Omaha. Answer me this, would you even miss a single thing about me if I found the strength to leave? And our parting would be such sweet sorrow, but I'll probably be back in your arms this time tomorrow. 'Cause now you got me stuck in this infinite loop of letting go and holding on to you. If I had a dime for every time I swore that you had really changed, well, I'd have enough money in my pocket to buy myself the whole damn plane. I once knew a girl. She was soft and kind and sweet, and her love for me ran deep. But I was cruel and I mistreated her, and all my selfishness depleted her. So she said goodbye, spent every last dime on that one way to Omaha.
Wow. That was a lot of goosebumps.
That
A lot of
gave me the
goosebumps,
chills, dude.
man. That I
That's
mean,
just because it's cold.
Could be that
no,
too.
it's different. It's different. And I mean, your songwriting is just so sophisticated, and that doesn't happen overnight. You know, I mean, we've all heard the greats, and I mean, I feel like you're up there, man. Like you're just, and it's like, and it's not just this one song. I feel like it's like you can't just really write one good song. It's developing that skill of songwriting, and it's just like I'm excited to see what keeps coming out of you. You know, that was amazing, man.
Yeah.
Can see why they chose you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Thanks.
Yeah, you really paint a really vivid picture, and the space and the melodies, everything's really complimentary. Like it put me somewhere. I was like riding a horse on that one, you know, in between some ravenous, you know, in the heat of the sun. It
Yeah.
was,
yeah,
you
and
could feel it.
it's like the techniques that you use, not just with the guitar, but with your voice too. Like the major to minor classic, and just the inversion stuff is just like, yeah, like you said, it paints a picture. You know, you're an artist that has, instead of a painter having all your paints, you have all these kind of ways of writing a song, I guess, or different tools. And you know, like for me at least, when I go to write a song, it's like, all right, what do I want to incorporate? What of those tools can I use? What chords? And yeah, man, you tell an amazing story.
Thank
And
you.
it's rare. Yeah, of course, man. You're
Ace,
welcome.
were you thinking about like a skate part during that, where you're like, oh, I kind of want to like
Yeah.
hit this like rail that I've been thinking about for a bit, or
It'd have to be a really good part to go with that.
yeah,
So maybe,
Well,
yeah.
And dude, your skating, I mean, I already said this, but like, it's just so much different than so many other people skating.
Thanks.
And it's like, I don't know, I feel like, yeah, you see things a lot different, and you're like, you just go for like creative shit. I don't know, like creative
I
control.
just can't keep up with the craziest stuff, so I just try to have fun and do something different.
It's smart, man. It's like
you
Rodney
know,
Mullen style or
super
something.
innovative.
Thank
yeah,
you.
just a
Appreciate
different
that.
way of thinking about stuff.
Yeah, it makes you look at like a spot like completely different. Where I see something and I'm like, oh my god, like I would never have skated that spot that way.
Really?
But it's that creative brain. It's like
Yeah.
it's the same thing in anything, like songwriting or any like skateboarding. It's like you use that and like just in this insanely creative way that like is so inspiring.
Dude, thank you.
It really
Appreciate
is.
that.
It's like, yeah, it's amazing. I love it.
That was
dude.
my same thought while watching the creative control. Was like, oh, I think he's gonna do this, and it was like, nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Yeah,
He's got something
completely,
else
which
going.
is so good and it's so refreshing.
Cool.
It's so refreshing to be like, oh, like to get surprised.
It
'Cause,
made
like,
me
Yeah.
want to
Right?
skate too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so many parts
That's the
these
goal,
days.
I
you're
guess,
like,
right?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
easy to go numb, to get numb to
Yeah.
all the. I mean, skateboarding has evolved so much.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
You're
Try to
keeping
do
it
something
evolving,
different.
man. You're
Yeah.
keeping
So
it progressing.
When you go to
Yeah.
a new spot, do you skate it right away, or do you kind of like think about it for a bit, or do you do like research on spots, or what's
We do a lot of research.
Yeah,
I'm sure
Me and
you're
my
like
buddies-
the trippy spot guy.
Yeah, we'll just bike around and we'll just scout spots. We'll take photos. We'll get the pins. A lot of people are really cool and just like send me spots all the time,
Yeah.
like
That's
spots
awesome.
they think I'd like. So,
oh, cool.
I mean, yeah, it really just
Homies.
depends. But I like for that part, I had a whole list,
Okay.
and I like to cross things out and be a little organized. Obviously, like spontaneous too, but I like to like set my mind on something, maybe look at it first, and then like tell the filmer and photographer like, okay, I'm ready to go. Like, let's go.
Well, it
Take
kind
some
of
pressure off.
it brings up a cool point of like, same with music, a songwriting, like writing a song or going to a jam session. Like for your parts, it's like you have this thing in mind and you get the trick. It's like writing the song, but then like for a musician, you go to the session or the open mic or whatever, and it kind of helps you build the creativity to create that song or that like trick.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
it's cool. And like I want to bring up these cool jam sessions that me and Ace were a part of at Living Tea, where we used to work. We were talking about earlier up in
miss those.
Oceanside. Shout out to those guys.
Not a Living Tea.
Josh, Neil, Bill. And it was just fun. Like Ace I've seen you when you like kind of first were just starting to mess around, and then it's like, damn, Ace is jamming all the time. He's getting sick on the drums and the flute and freaking everything. So it's cool, man. It's fun.
The pancake breakfast, good times.
Yeah, the pancake
They
breakfast.
didn't do it all last year, but hopefully this year.
Right, next year will be a new
You'll have to come to that too.
redeem.
What's the pancake breakfast?
The pancake breakfast is so Living Tea hosts a free donation based but community breakfast that's like at first it was Ace's mom actually started it like previous. You can tell.
It was more like for the homeless.
Yeah, at first it was like
kind of
we
her
would
and my
go
sister.
and gather the homeless.
Yeah, and then it turned into just like this communal like donation based jam session, and it's like really good organic buckwheat pancakes with all the best ingredients. And then just a bunch of people would come out, and like good musicians would come out and just play like really good shows. And it was just kind of never planned. It just always worked out. It's
yeah,
really
and
fun.
like they have some cool friends.
Breakfast and jams? You can't beat that.
Dude, it's literally the best, man.
God.
And like, like they're friends with some really cool, like high caliber musicians that would roll through. And they also have some cool like events, and because it's just they have the parking lot, and Oceanside is pretty like doesn't care about like they just put up the fence, and it's like anything goes type thing.
Every second Sunday of the month.
Yep.
But
and where's this at?
Year.
This is at
Living Tea Kombucha Brewery, Wisconsin Avenue, Oceanside.
Oh yeah, mad shout outs.
Who knows when they'll do that again though.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So do you have some jams that you like to go to?
I mean, there hasn't really. The one that kind of was going on over the summer was Coomber.
Yeah.
And that was fun. That's where we played together.
Yeah, that was the one time we got to jam.
Yeah,
I got
that
a
was
call
awesome.
to fill in for Marco on that, and then
I mean, like prior to COVID, it was always a back porch showcase at Booze Bros.
that was the
Heavy
shit.
shout out Booze Bros.
Yeah.
Love Booze Bros.
we need to
and
really
like
shout
the
them
back
out.
porch showcase was just the best. Like it's so good. Just a bunch of friends every other Wednesday, like getting together and just playing music and drinking the best beer. And it was so fun. But that, like, they haven't been able to do back porch this basically almost the whole year, at least since March. But Coomber, they, fall under a different like guideline, being a wine bar, so they were allowed to have live music. Yeah, that's why they're allowed to have it.
Crazy, they got
and
lucky.
so then Coomber kind of picked up, and Marco was kind of keeping it going over there. And that was really fun. But yeah, really nothing other than that.
Maybe we'll have to have a little jam at the end of this, all of us. I think
Yeah.
Ace brought his flute.
Yeah.
Have you been tapping into any like remote collaborations at all, or?
Yeah, actually. So there's a gentleman named Alfred Howard down in San Diego. And Al Howard is just this great writer, great lyricist, and he writes for a lot of bands in San Diego and then some. And Al started this project this year that is, it's called Alfred Howard Writes. And he basically, because he's just been so involved with bands and musicians for, over the years, he got the idea when everything shut down back in March of last year, where he was just going to do 100 songs. So he was going to he writes the lyrics and he sends them out to different songwriters.
Oh, that's cool.
And you take Al's lyrics and you write a song to it. And so he's doing 100 of them. And I think by the end of the year, he had done 55, and so they're still going, and their songs are still pouring in and getting released and stuff like that. So, yeah, that was pretty amazing. That's the first time I've ever done anything like that. It's the first time I'd ever written a song with somebody else's lyrics. Like, I'd never done that. It was kind of a trip. But it was, I mean, Al is such a good lyricist, and he, like, to the point where he actually will tailor his lyrics. He'll listen to your music and then tailor his lyrics to kind of be to the tone of how I write.
So he would send them to specific artists.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
He
he-
sends
so
them all to like
his-
all bunch of different
That's
artists.
cool.
He has
That's
they have a
cool.
label called the Redwoods music label,
Mhm.
and they do like the Redwoods review, where it'll be like the house band kind of with like Jake Nazier and all the
Mhm.
dudes, and then and I mean, he's one of my favorite humans ever. Al,
Yeah,
a couple
he's
of our
amazing.
like best friends used to live with him down in
Okay.
North Park.
Yeah.
Tim McNally and Dylan Casey.
Okay.
And that project is just so freaking cool. I mean,
Yeah.
Al, like, he's played, I think, every Joshua Tree Music Festival, and is just like, he's been in the music scene forever. And just is I think they were just on the Kelly show, the Kelly
Clarkson
yeah,
show,
Kelly
yeah.
Clarkson show,
He and his
talking
mom
about
were.
it. It's just
Yeah,
super
it's
cool.
amazing. Like, and that was the other thing. He brought his mom into it, and she's this great artist. And so for every song, she paints a unique painting
Wow.
to go with every song. So it's this amazing project that, like, I was so fortunate that he reached out and he's like, hey, would you want to do this? And I was like, okay. And that really that's the only collaborative thing I've done, like since COVID hit. And it's been really cool. Yeah.
Are these being released or?
Yeah, all the
So the
time.
one I did with him was released like a couple months ago, but he's releasing them. He releases them in increments of 10.
Oh,
So
okay.
they'll be it's going to be volumes 1 through 10, and each of them will have 10 songs on them.
Such a cool idea.
Yeah, it's amazing. So he's going to be releasing volume 5 pretty soon, I believe. That'll be 50 through 60.
So awesome.
Yeah, it was like an incredible, and it was really good though, because it caused me to like kind of flex some creative muscles that I have never used before, like writing somebody else's words.
It's an interesting approach to songwriting. It's like you don't usually just start with lyrics.
Yeah. And
yeah.
I've been seeing all the bands that he plays with and writes for so long, and I've always thought that was so trippy, but like it just really, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And he's just, it's his spoken word too is just
incredible.
It's the best spoken word I've ever heard. Like he's so touching.
You know, it would be really cool if you guys, everyone who was a part of that collaboration in that series, did, when everything kind of, the dust settles, do a big show.
Oh,
That would be
with everybody involved
That would be
and
insane.
have like
hear that
all-star
Al?
band.
yeah. Al,
I'm
there
sure
you
he's
go.
thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's keeping people creative, he's helping fund musicians' lives and not have to just go and get a day job.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of us still have, but it's like, it's such an awesome thing.
Yeah.
Do you want to do
really amazing.
you've done one tune for that, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to maybe sing that, or if you prepared for it?
Remember it. Yeah. Let me see if it's
If not, you can do something else. You got like 2,000 songs, right? There's a lot up in that brain.
And then it's the bridge that I forget. Here come day or hurricane. Let's see if I can remember this part. Your sun's return after weeks of rain. When you have to leave, memories remain. But I do know it, 'cause I know that our chorus refrain. Yeah. Memories remain. I do know it, 'cause I know that our chorus refrain. Yeah, that's it.
If you don't want to do it, so
Yeah, no, I think I got it.
it's probably hard to
We'll see
remember.
how it goes.
Remember not your
Funny
lyrics
thing is,
too.
this is another whistling intro one.
Hell yeah.
Swear I don't intro every song.
So it sounds so
It sounds good.
What the hell? Okay,
It's your
that's
thing,
not-
dude. It's your thing.
Let's see. I should be able to remember it. If I don't remember
If you mess
it,
up a little, it
then-
doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you know.
No, just fade out.
Just yeah, we'll just go dark.
Yeah.
It's classic.
Fade into another tune or something.
Ocean road on my mind. Should we go for a moonlit drive? And I don't really care what it is I do, as long as it's with you. And I don't really care just what it is I do, as long as it's with you. Tired eyes, quiet night. When I wake up, it's love at first sight. And I don't really care just what it is I do, as long as it's with you. And I don't really care what it is I do, as long as it's with you. It could be a calm day or a hurricane. You're the sun's return after weeks of rain. And when you have to leave, memories remain. But I do not weep, 'cause I know that our chorus refrains. As the years fall behind, how did we spend our time? And I don't really care what it is I do, as long as it's with you. And I don't really care just what it is I do, as long as it's with you.
Nice.
So
Sorry to
good.
put you on the spot there.
No, it's good. It made me
Pulled through.
Yeah, it made me kind of like really
testing
yeah,
your
those are
testing
all,
your brain.
Those are Al's beautiful words right there.
I was thinking of him the whole time, man.
Yeah, that's him, man. He's just a great lyricist. So
Wow. Well, check out that project if you guys haven't out there. Al Howard writes.
Yep.
And I mean, I would love to hear another tune if you're down to play another one, just like that. I mean,
absolutely.
we normally do a little chatting, but I just. What are you thinking? What's
I'll
one of
do a
your
song.
favorite ones?
I like playing a song called "Can't Pretend." This is
'Kay.
a tune that I wrote. So yeah, I'll do that one.
It's the same old story, ain't that how it goes? A boy loves a girl, and she'll never know. That's exactly where I find myself tonight. Gotta bottle it up, seal it tight, because I don't know how much more that I can take. I got a feeling that this levee's gonna break. It's just something that I can't pretend. I want you, girl, I don't need another friend. Oh, I got plenty of them. And I swear if you smile at me one more time, I might lose my mind. But now this drink's in my hand, and my vision's getting blurred. Oh, and I'm feeling pretty brave, but my speech is getting slurred. I don't know how much more that I can take. So I'll have another sip and watch the levee break. It's just something that I can't pretend. I want you, girl, I don't need another friend. No, hoping that you'd read my mind. The clock's still running, but we're almost out of time. Can you just give me a simple loving chance? A shred of hope found in a passing glance. Just something for me to go off of. A little fuel to the fire of this burning love. It's just something that I can't pretend. I want you, girl, I don't need another friend. Oh, I got plenty of them.
Wow. What a good song, man. Damn.
That was definitely one I was thinking about using.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Senorita too.
Oh, dude.
That's actually, I might have to
Next
put in
part.
a request for that, for you to play that tonight. That's one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard that one?
I haven't, but I'm excited
Senorita.
to. Oh, no, I
Any-
have heard that one. Yeah,
It's
of
nice
course.
to meet you.
Anything.
Yeah.
Phrase. Anything. You got me on Thrasher, dude.
Dude.
You pressed any song, dude. I rode your coattails all the way on to Thrasher.
Well, let's do it. How about we play the game? Ace picks a song and then you play it. Because I mean,
That's
we've-
just the one I want to hear tonight.
Spins the wheel.
I mean, we've chatted a good bit, and I love all the talking we've done. But I mean, I would go for another song.
We're here for Francis.
Do you guys want to? I mean, you guys have anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to bring up?
Actually, I have a question though.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ace, you're talking about like. Hold on, nobody heard what I just said. But you're talking about like how when you have your list and you're getting ready to you're putting your part together and you have your list. When you got like, how many times did it happen when you got to the spot and you did a different trick? Like it changed from the list? Okay.
Oh yeah, a lot of times I wuss out or it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
But you know, the list seemed to work for me.
Yeah.
I'd say it's like 75% efficient, maybe 80%.
Okay.
And then sometimes spontaneous tricks, and then sometimes just something different works out.
Yeah.
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 I like the structure though.
Yeah, yeah.
It helps, you know.
Like, yeah. And I was just like wondering, because it's kind of like that, like with like even with music, and you have your idea or your vision, but oftentimes like when push comes to shove, or like, you know, you actually are on the ground and you're actually in the middle of doing what you're, and like things change.
Yeah.
You know, and it just changes, and it's like, well, that was
You're right.
unexpected, but like, you know, kind of thing. So I was wondering, like, was it like meticulous and you're like, nope, I ticked them all off and like that was it? Or did it like when you got there, it was like, no, actually I want to do this on that? Or
Yeah, there's
like
definitely some unfinished business. Maybe
Oh.
for the next part this year or something.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
That's why I
cool.
usually like to look at the spot first because then I can really get an idea of if it'll work out or not. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Rather than just showing up, never been there before.
Yeah. Were there any spots like that in the park? Like
Where I just showed up.
where you just showed up, you're like, I've never been here before. But
Yeah.
then you got
oh
a
yeah,
chick-
totally.
okay. That's
Totally.
fine.
Which chicks?
Oh man, off the top of my head. Gosh.
I mean, that part was crazy, man.
How about that opening scene though? Was that something you've been eyeing out for a bit?
Yeah, that
Like, that was
rooftop.
Oh, the
legendary.
roof. Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
wall
That
ride
one had been on
rooftop.
my list for a while.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of doing it because it's a roof. So you just
Yeah.
you know it. You know it. There's gonna be
It's a roof.
trouble.
Yeah. Bus levels
That was
high.
in March. That was definitely one of the first tricks we filmed for this part.
That's so
That was like
sick.
right when everything hit. I think there was like a hospital right next to there, so that was
Yeah.
pretty interesting. But yeah, no, it was cool. I got up there. I tried a few. It was the sketchiest part was getting up there. I
Yeah.
don't know if you
Yeah.
saw in the video.
Yeah.
There's this little like skinny pole just like sticking out, and I would jump up and just hope it wouldn't break on me. I was like, I'm gonna get hurt
Wow.
getting up here, not like skating
Not
off
skating
of
it.
Yeah, and that one didn't take
Not
too long, like
starting
10 tries, but I just
Yeah.
would stick and fall, and then that security guard came out, and he was so funny.
He was hilarious.
He wasn't like
dude.
mad. He was just like,
Like, what
just
are
like,
you doing?
what the heck? Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing, man?
It
And
sounded like he was
kind of
encouraging
just,
a little bit.
yeah, I know he kind of
Yeah.
liked it, and then he
Yeah.
just kind of looked away and just let me do my thing, and then I was out.
What a
That's
homie.
so
yeah,
sick.
I love when
How
it works
did you
like
get
that.
off the roof so fast? Because the camera pans over and looks at him.
I
and
know,
then pans back,
yeah.
and Ace is
I
like
know.
right there.
The way
That's
my
like-
friend filmed it, it pans to him, and I jumped off so quick, and then it's at me, and I'm just,
Yeah.
I know a few people asked me, I was like, yeah, it looks like a magic
Spider-Man.
trick.
Dude, it was
Yeah.
so good. It's like pans
Yeah.
over, and he's like, "You're gonna bust
Yeah.
your ass," and then it goes back over, and Ace is just there.
I know, that's a funny one.
That was
Maybe you gotta
magic.
throw like do skaters have a toolkit they throw in the car, like a ladder, some rope?
Oh,
just
heck
like,
yeah.
Oh, the
get,
van's
like,
equipped.
for sure.
lights.
Van's equipped. Yeah.
We didn't have a
bolt
ladder.
cutters.
That would have been great.
A ladder might be the
Yeah.
next thing to
Oh,
add.
you
in
weren't
there.
in the van.
No, yeah, we weren't in the van. But yeah, that was funny. That was like, I think it was a weed store
was a
or a
weed
CBD store.
So they should be chill.
They'd be chill. If they were open, they'd be
Mellowed
chill.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That part where you like hippie jumped the four things in a row. That was fucking crazy.
That
dude.
was
That
actually
was
really hard,
nuts.
surprisingly. That
Not
took.
surprisingly,
Yeah,
that looked so
surprisingly.
goddamn hard.
Yeah.
That was
Well, it's funny because I first tried it like in the beginning of 2020, and I couldn't get to the fourth one. Or I'd get to the fourth one and just like, because you just got to be perfectly straight the whole
The
time. And
whole
it's
time.
like
Right.
hurdles, And I couldn't do it, and I was just like, I just gave up on it. And then I went back like later in the year, and then it just worked out. But it took
Yeah.
2 separate trips there to.
Do you
jump
ride your
over
trucks
that.
really
Nuts.
loose?
I used to ride them super loose. I tightened up a little because it just
Yeah, a
for
lot of this-
functionality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It
'Cause,
makes
I
it
mean,
a little
especially
easier.
for that, like,
For that, you want tight trucks 'cause you don't want
Yeah.
your board to like turn
Right.
all around.
and
so.
it's cool. You ride like a dope shape, like Winkowski or something.
I like the
one of
big
those
boards
old
for
school-
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like with the no nose, and like you're doing tricks
Yeah.
like all these like
yeah.
nose blunt like hand grab things. And
Yeah.
it's crazy.
I just like the way that like big shaped boards look on footage,
Mm.
like a mix up rather than just the standard popsicle shape.
Dang,
Yeah,
that's
gives it-
interesting.
Yeah.
like aesthetics. I feel like.
Yeah.
How cool. And you like skate differently. I feel like with it.
It makes you skate like you're in the 80s,
Right.
or you try to. At least.
Oh, dude, that like that video they just came out with. You're in the for slime ball.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
slime balls. Yeah.
Slime balls. Yeah.
We're all skating like Alva boards.
Yeah.
We dressed up 80s. That was fun.
So
That's
cool.
so sick.
And that's like another old NHS company, right? Like OJ's.
Yeah, it's like OJ's like sister company, and they just like had us. We've done it twice now. And we just dress up, and I think I was trying to be Christian Hosoi that day,
Yeah.
and then someone was Alva, someone was probably Stacy, and yeah, we just do our thing for the day. It's so fun. It's so pure,
You've gotten
Yeah.
a lot of cool gigs like that. Right? I remember when you and your girl at the time like got hired to do
Oh.
like a movie or a music video,
Oh,
right?
man, we can't talk about that.
Ah, we gotta talk about it. Well, it's because it's cool. Like a
Gosh.
lot of pro
That was
skaters.
fun for sure.
Yeah, like pro skaters will get hired to do stunt things, like in movies, like Tony Hawk. Cinema, like people just do stuff because they're like, oh, we want someone to come skate on this thing, and they're like,
Mhm.
can you do this too? And like, oh, you have a chick too, she can be in it. Like,
Totally.
So it was
I would
hilarious.
do more
So
of it. Like
they
I wouldn't
cleaned
say
you up,
no.
bro.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
You got
easier than
paid, right?
skating.
Yeah,
They
You got-
just took
did
us
you-
on a trip and just we were actors. Yeah, we were the head of heads of this music video for this. I shouldn't name the song. I don't want it.
Nobody actually watched it, but
So
no, I'm just
sick, though.
Yeah, thankfully I don't think anyone really saw it. But it was a huge band. It's like a pop band.
Okay.
I'll tell you after. When the
Okay.
camera's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to
that,
throw
dude.
you under the bus for that, but
No,
it was
no,
just
it's a
so
funny
tight.
one.
It was
Oh,
cool.
that's awesome.
It's because you're a talented guy, man. That's why people hit you up for stuff like that.
Oh,
you know?
thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well,
I have a question, because when we first started skating, though, like,
Mhm.
and you like, because something that you said, I don't know if we even started yet, but you're like, well, you mentioned like, because your creative style, you're like, oh, like I can't keep up, but like, full on like, you skate also just like standard street or whatever extremely well. Like, don't
Thanks,
pretend we
dude.
didn't see you switch feeble like a 30-foot long ramp. Like you
Randomly
skate-
can bust the old ones
no,
out. The
but
old
like,
moves
but
out.
what
I don't
kind
know.
of got you to the point? Because even then, like, yeah, like you did have like this creative, unique style, but you also just like ripped on everything there, whether it was a flat box or flat rail,
Thanks, man.
or like flat bar, box, quarter pipe. What made you kind of realize like, oh, like, was it just not that fulfilling to skate
Yeah.
regular kind of stuff?
I feel like I just got numb to it as a viewer because like the bar is set pretty dang high.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
and also back then I used to do more of the like standard street of just like jumping down big stair sets and
Yeah.
a lot of flip tricks and skating rails and then getting injured a lot, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely like made me kind of change my approach, start skating transition more, start getting into like watching a lot of 80s videos and trying to emulate, you know, the 80s style.
Yeah.
So it's not that it's boring, it's just that the bar is set pretty high.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm better off just doing my thing kind of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is okay. That's cool.
Being yourself.
Yeah, because I mean, you pretend like we didn't see you. Impossible to Rincon, right?
Yeah. But I was like 16 years old. That was
So
like my
gnarly,
my
though.
prime of jumping, you know.
Dude. your
Dude, like
peak.
that was. Like,
Yeah, before the feet hurt.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say it's not that you can't keep up. It's just you choose not
I choose not to.
Yeah,
Skate
'cause it's
smarter, not harder. I always
definitely-
say, you know.
It's smart,
if you want
man.
to skate for longer,
Longevity.
Yeah.
like, man, like people like I look at like Jaws and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. I wonder how long he can do that, you know.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
jumping off biggest
He's
things
nuts.
ever.
Is it sustainable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always got to outdo yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a
Yeah,
lot of
that is
pressure.
hectic.
Right. Once you do one banger, it's like your next
Yeah.
banger better
Everybody's
be better.
always
than that.
waiting for like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
well, it's
yeah.
gonna be bigger. Yeah, that is. I guess that's like that black hole of.
Yeah, you kind of
That
put
skating
yourself
style,
in that.
huh?
Like I'm glad I'm not that guy. Like
Yeah.
you
Well,
know.
it's cool. Like I've noticed, getting to, cause my little brother films skating, so like getting to see like the parts the chicks he goes and films. Like a lot of these dudes don't fall really. It's like, oh yeah, they
yeah.
did that shit. Oh yeah, he did that first try, and then he wanted to know if he should do it again. Just
They got it
for,
down
like,
to a science.
you know, yeah, it's
nuts.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's like we were talking about with songwriting. It's
Yeah.
like you don't just write a song all of a sudden. It's like
Yeah.
you write a billion songs that get you up to that.
You're right. A bunch of shitty songs.
Right, exactly.
For sure.
That's cool, man. So what was the song you wanted to hear? Senorita?
Senorita.
Senorita.
I would be stoked to hear
Can
that.
I take a bathroom break real quick?
Yeah, man.
Okay, cool. You start though.
All right.
Always time for that. Drinking the tea and water. Got to stay hydrated out there, guys. Oh no, I got some.
Oh, you got some.
I guess the song does open with a story. A bit of a monologue, so I might as well do that.
Hell yeah.
Well, once upon a time, I was making my way through the Southwest when I stopped into the town of El Paso. And before turning in, I thought I'd go down to the local cantina and have myself a drink. When I arrived, I stood at the door and looked around, and I saw the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen.
Ow!
So I plucked up my courage and I walked across the room, stood in front of her and stared into her deep brown eyes. And this is what I said. Senorita, it's nice to meet you. Your hair is everywhere. Senorita,
nice to meet you. Your lips are all on mine, and I will hold you in my arms and keep you safe from harm. Oh, and if you call, I will answer, my señorita, señorita. Well, we danced all into the night, until at last I watched a laugh become a sigh. And I knew right then that it was now or never. Señorita, it's nice to meet you. Sé mi amor, has realidad mis sueños. Señorita, it's nice to meet you. Be my love, make my dreams come true, and I will hold you in my arms and keep you safe from harm. Oh, and if you go, I will cry. Señorita, be mine tonight. I fear that you will suddenly leave, and then I will be left to grieve. But if you stay, then you'll be mine, and we'll be together through all time. We'll stay together through all time.
Yeah.
So good.
Such a good one.
a good one, huh?
Good call, Ace. Yeah.
Good
I'd love to
call.
hear a full song from you in Spanish.
Oh,
Cause I love that. No, I'm not saying right now.
Do you
I'm
have
just
one?
saying
Do you
because I
have
love the little
No, I
Spanish
don't.
part.
Right now.
You sing it well.
If I could speak Spanish
Yeah.
fluently, I would actually like to do that. Kind of like when Harry Nilsson did "Without You" in Spanish. Did you ever
yeah,
hear that?
yeah.
I haven't heard that one.
Oh,
it's
Harry
amazing.
Nilsson is
Harry Nilsson's
God.
incredible. So he had this like super big song. I can't live if living is without you. I can't give anymore. It's this massive hit, and then he released it where he sang it completely in Spanish. And
Wow.
it was so good.
I mean, he's kind
This is
of
beautiful.
almost an underrated, like he was like probably like John Lennon's one of his biggest
Yeah.
influences, and
Yeah.
like all these people.
Yeah, and like he was one of John Lennon's influences. Like John
Right.
Lennon loved him.
Yeah, yeah,
people
no, that's
just
what,
like-
yeah,
I think
that's
Harry
what I was
Nilsson
saying.
was
He
the
loved him.
Beatles. There was an interview with the Beatles, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Who's your favorite band from the U.S.? And they all said Harry Nilsson.
Yeah,
Nilsson.
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
They're like,
He
yeah,
was
we've
the
been
Beatles'
listening.
favorite band.
I know, that's
yeah, It's
insane.
kind of like that
Not
saying,
bad.
like he's your favorite skater's favorite skater.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like Harry Nilsson was your favorite band's favorite band.
Right.
Wow.
I think John
Impressive.
Lennon and Harry Nilsson lived in the same house in L.A. for a bit, and they produced a lot of stuff together.
Yep.
So epic.
Yep. They absolutely.
Where do you go from there? You know?
No. Yeah.
Right. Well,
Do you? Or yeah, go for it.
no.
Do you have like a couple of favorite artists? Like you mentioned Harry Nilsson. I hear a
Yeah.
lot of Roy Orbison in your
Yeah.
sound a little bit.
Yeah, I love Roy. Like I didn't really grow up listening to Roy other than "Pretty Woman."
Yeah.
You know, like heard that.
That's the hit.
And that's the hit, yeah. But the Beatles have always been my like favorite band.
Your number
Actually,
one.
they were my
Nice.
first favorite band, And then when I was like 8 years old, then Metallica became my favorite.
Like
Metallica,
every
yeah.
kid that age.
And it was and again, dude, speaking of skate videos and music, it was because I watched Plan B Revolution.
Oh yeah.
And
how about the DC
Danny Way
video?
and
Remember that
Colin
one?
McKay, they had the shared part which had Motor Breath in it, and I heard that song and was like, hell yeah, that's cool. And it was like my older brother was like, that's Metallica. And I was like, okay, like I like that band. So they became my favorite band.
Yeah.
You can't hear it in my music, but I love Metallica.
Oh, dude.
Freaking love Metallica.
Metallica, Megadeth, all that stuff was my favorite when I was a kid too, and that's like all my band played. Like we were a metal band, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You get that teenage angst out that way.
Definitely. I think the one that survived though, like has always been the Beatles. Like they're just such they're a well of inspiration that I will never stop drawing from. Like they're just I'm just constantly finding new things that I'm, nerding out on.
If you had to pick a favorite album, what would you choose?
A favorite Beatles record?
Yeah.
Or any record.
Or any record? Oh,
well, maybe stick for the Beatles because
okay.
or either way.
So many
Either way.
different
Sgt.
types.
Pepper?
Yeah.
Which one?
Pepper.
It'd be Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah.
It'd be Sgt. Pepper now. I think a couple years ago, or a few years ago, it would have been Revolver when I was in high school. It would have been Revolver. And then, at some point, it was Abbey Road, and now it's Sgt. Pepper.
Wow.
So,
I've gone through a lot of phases like that.
So cool that they were able to take time off touring, too. They were just kind of over the whole thing, and they just focused on, what was it, like 4 years or something like that? They were like just recording?
Yeah, it's from 66 to 70. They didn't tour. Which thankfully so, because like as far as recording goes and like in the studio, like they pushed a lot of things forward.
Oh yeah,
because they just had all the time, and they're super innovative in the studio. So
have you seen that preview for the new movie that's coming out?
Peter Jackson,
dude, that's good. Like I was like, whoa! It's not even the trailer yet. It's like the pre-trailer.
It was just like a little,
that footage
crazy.
Was insane.
What's going down?
There's a Beatles thing coming out with all this unreleased footage. They went through a room full of video film, and like
it's basically them making "Let It Be." It's like them in the last days kind of thing, which is really cool because all the tabloid media from that time was like the Beatles all hated each other while they were making their last record kind of thing. But this footage proves completely otherwise. It looked like they were having the time of their lives. Seriously. Like it looked like four best friends making music, which is what we like know the Beatles were. Like they were just four good friends that had grown up together in the same, area of Liverpool. And it's like, so it's going to probably put to bed a lot of those like rumors and things like that. Like granted, they were frustrated with each other because
they spent all their time together.
And that's like, but they didn't like hate each other. Like they're all having a blast while making that record. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. And it's Peter Jackson because I'm also a giant Tolkien nerd. Like, I love Tolkien, and so Jackson did a great job with Lord of the Rings. Not so much The Hobbit, but he did a great job with Lord of the Rings. So
you check out go for it.
No, that's it.
Yeah. You check out the Tolkien movie they released a little bit ago?
I still haven't seen it.
It was pretty good.
And I know it's probably amazing, but I still haven't seen it, and I don't know what you just reminded me about it, and I'm literally going to go home and watch it.
It kind of brought shed a new light, a new appreciation for Lord of the Rings and that whole series, and how the history of his life was. You could see the relation quite a bit.
He's a really great example of just like in any kind of writing. If you're writing music, or if it's poetry, or fiction, or whatever you're writing, like he's a really good example of ways to incorporate things from your own life, but masking the inspiration so that it's not so like blatant. Right. But you can tie these things to his life, like I'm sure in the movie points out. But you tie these things to his life, and you go, oh my God, like that is that's what he was referencing when he did this in the story or something like that. But it's not overt and it's not like plain to see. But if then you can kind of see it. And it's kind of a cool thing to try and exercise that like as a writer. And as like a songwriter, I try to, because I'm not necessarily trying to say like, I went to 7-Eleven on a Tuesday, like where it's like so specific, like kind of thing. And like, you know, girl broke my heart or whatever. Like, it's just finding ways to like stuff that happened in your life, but being able to like incorporate that in your writing, but like have it not be so, I don't know.
It doesn't have to fit in a
Fails.
box.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to
exactly.
be anything. It could be your imagination. Like he literally created a language from
Yeah.
like all from Swedish,
Yeah.
like different, and
Yeah.
grabbed a little bits and pieces, and
Yeah.
then made modern day Middle Earth. you
Full
know?
on
Cool.
grammar and everything. Like there's punctuation and grammar rules and
That's
things like that.
nuts.
Like it wasn't just like a, you know, pig Latin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dude literally created a language.
Yeah, the freedom of music and skateboarding and just like the arts, and it's so liberating, and
Yeah.
it's such a good tool to get out there.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no limits. It's just like whatever we limit ourselves to.
Yeah.
in terms
Yeah,
of
exactly.
the
It's
arts.
Essential, man. We
Yeah.
need to be
Yeah.
creative to fulfill our souls, to
Yeah.
not feel like
true.
beaten down, like we're just like
Mhm.
9 to 5, bell rings, you go in,
Mm.
hate your life. You know,
Yeah.
gotta love what you do.
Oh yeah.
You've definitely been freeing my soul since you started stringing those guitars over there.
I know.
Dude, it's funny though, and it was like what we were talking about. I think it was before you had gotten here. We were talking about like how skating though is seriously like therapy. It's like dangerous therapy.
Yeah.
Like you go and like
dangerous therapy.
it literally is. It's like
That's a good
where
way
you
to put
can
it.
kind of just like there's so many times, and since I was a kid, like skating was my first escape. Like I didn't play music as a kid.
Yeah.
So skating was my first thing where like whatever you're going through at home or whatever, and you just like, you don't even know why. You didn't like intentionally, I didn't go out to skate or whatever to like relieve stress as a 10-year-old.
No.
As a 10-year-old, you don't know what the hell stress is. You've felt it, but you don't know what it is. You're just whatever, like you're bummed or whatever. But skating like just wipes it away for whatever window of time like
Yeah.
you're skating. And it's like, yeah, it's amazing like how it does that.
Yeah,
It puts you in the present moment, you know?
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
That
there's just
zone.
endless possibility. I think that's what's so addicting.
Yeah.
As a kid, I remember just wanting to get off soccer practice, you know,
Yeah.
and just wanted to skate. I quit soccer for skating actually.
Yeah.
My parents were so bummed on it, but it was just so addicting. That was all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And there's just you could do whatever you wanted. There was no rules,
Yeah. Yeah.
no coach, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're not confined to anything, man. And yeah.
It's so cool getting in that zone. Have you guys seen that movie Soul? That new
Yeah. I
Dude.
actually did watch that. That movie was heavy
Is
for
that
a
the
kid's movie.
Right?
animated one?
Yeah, I
Dude,
saw
the
it with
kids
my
movie?
nephews.
It's a kid's movie, and that thing is
Dude,
heavy.
I know
for
my
a kid's
nephews were
movie.
just here and we watched it, and like it was one of the best movies I was ever seen.
Yeah.
I had goosebumps and chills and like
Yeah.
Oh.
the messages, but like when in the movie they go into the zone,
Yeah.
and it's like when
Yeah.
like anyone, you know, and like that's just a cool conversation that always comes up for me. Like
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
the zone is like that idea of like when you're skating and you're just completely enveloped in the moment
Yeah.
of like what
Music
you're
too,
doing.
right?
Yeah, and it's
They're
like
very
that kind of
similar.
thing. Yeah, it's like because they give the example of like they have like a guy like playing the piano and you're just lost in like what is right in front of you and you're just kind of thing, and it's like that way like where when you're doing those things and like I mean I think for like a lot of us it was skating and like that was our like thing. I'm sure everybody gets it in maybe their sport that they choose to go do.
Totally.
But like, yeah, and you just kind of get lost in it. And then like, you know, when the session's over, you kind of come back down and then you remember like, fuck, like that's what I was avoiding. But
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like this
It hits you.
dopamine high,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a trip. But yeah, it really does work that way.
yeah,
Like, and it's skating is still even like that way for me.
oh for sure.
that's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
I remember like not having a car growing up. You know, you're too young to have a car, and you
Yeah.
got a skateboard.
Yep.
So that was like your means of
Uh-huh.
freedom and getting out and going to see your friends or going to check out spots, and
Yeah.
like just that feeling was just like, no way, I'm on my own.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In the big world.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back when kids were allowed to do that. Nowadays, it's
I
like
know
so
it's a little
crazy.
different now.
Yeah, it's
like-
crazy.
We would
It
just hop on
totally is.
buses and skate so
Oh,
far at
dude,
night and
especially
just
like
do whatever.
right,
Yeah.
like especially around here, there was a lot of greenhouses, so there was a lot of we could roam and
Oh,
do
yeah.
whatever and create like forts. And we were talking about how underneath SDA and the bleachers there were these big things we'd set up to like make little spots and
Oh no way.
yeah, just like it's
Yeah.
cool, you know. It's feel bad kind of for the kids nowadays.
Seriously, do you guys remember the warehouse where Poots Park is now?
Oh,
Back
I
in
never
the-
went. I never went, but I
It
always
was
wanted
just
to
the
go.
salvation of skateboarding for a kid. It's just like abandoned agriculture space with just an abandoned warehouse right in the middle.
Yeah.
And it was just like take street signs, make ramps, create gaps, glass everywhere. There was definitely rats living in the couch.
Yeah.
It was like heaven for a kid.
The abandoned
That's
spots were the
so
best.
rad.
Oh yeah.
Always.
It would
Yeah.
still be heaven, actually.
DIY.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That spot was good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like tonight has been really fun, and I don't know about you guys, I'm getting a little cold.
Yeah. This fire's too far.
All right. But it's been really fun, and thank you guys so much for coming on the show.
Yeah.
We got
Thanks
For having us.
Yeah, of course, man. I mean, thanks to Zach for hosting us at his parents' home here at the barn. And, this was our first week doing it a little different outside so we can make sure that everyone stays safe. And, we just really appreciate all you guys watching out there and our team today. We've had just such great support making this show happen. We have Ryan Burrell running the show, doing all the switching, all the cameras. We have Noah Schuler operating the cameras and running all that show. And then we got our buddy Ian Gunlock taking photos. And Andrew Ware was here earlier helping us set up the sound and everything, but he had a little band practice to get to.
Barb
So-
and Leo also. You can't forget
Yeah.
the old residents of the house.
Yeah, Papa Leo and
Papa
Barb.
Leo.
We're
Shout out.
thankful for you. So maybe we could end the night with one more tune and kind of get on that note.
absolutely.
What's your favorite song you've written?
Oh, wow.
If you can choose.
Damn, that's a tough one. I don't know. I think one of the most fun. I can play one of my the one that I think is the most fun, that I have the most fun playing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's my favorite.
I'm sure it's hard to choose.
Trying to figure out. I think the favorite song. I think my favorite song. I haven't written yet.
I love
I
it.
think
I love
that's
it.
Exactly.
It's a never-ending quest.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
say
my favorite song I have. I've
Wow,
yet to write. I
best
haven't
answer.
written it yet.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. But this is a tune called Mary Jane and Susie Lee, which is a rock and roll tune that's usually kind of like. But since I don't have a band, I'm going to do the acoustic version
Hell yeah.
for Mary Jane and Susie Lee.
Cruising down the road in my V8. When I look at my watch, man, I'm running late. I put the pedal down, man, I'm really fine. What should I see at the drive-in dine? The pretty little thing gave a wink and a smile. I thought of saying, no, really ain't my style. So I pull in, I said, what's your name? She pops her bubble gum and says, I'm Mary Jane. I said, listen, MJ, I'm gonna treat you right. Gonna take you to a rock and roll show tonight. She said, is that so? And I say, yes, ma'am. Oh, did I forget to mention that I'm in the band? I said, right, right. I said, ooh, right. Well, we get to the club at 9:30 with a Mary Jane looking real fine. I open the door, everyone turned to see, well, who's that little lady standing next to me? I take her under my arm and proceed to the stage in a whack, something slapping me in the face. Well, pale as a ghost and my mouth open wide, with my head on a swivel looking side to side. Mary Jane says, well, who's this? She says, for your information, my name is Susie Lee Smith. To my right, Mary Jane, to my left, Susie Lee. I thought, oh, Lordy, Lordy, have mercy on me. I said, ooh, right, ooh, right. I said, ooh, right. Susie Lee had caused quite a scene, and before I knew it, all eyes were on me. I said, listen, baby, this ain't how it looks. And I proceeded to pull out every line in the book. I could tell from her face she couldn't take anymore. So I started out running, heading for the back door. Ooh, shooby-dooby, right, shooby-doo. Ooh, shooby-dooby, right. I said, ooh, right. story goes when you bring two women to the same damn show. I learned my lesson, yes, I learned it good, and the moral of the story was understood. If you're going to a rock and roll show, bring your Mary Jane and leave your Susie Lee at home. Rhythm and blues.
That was
So good.
damn. That's
It's a banger.
That's
Yeah,
so funny. I love it,
definitely.
man.
It's probably the one I have the most fun playing.
Well, that's a good way to go out. Then that was a bang, man. Well, this has been Barn Time episode 8.
Wow.
Right? 8.
Wow.
So
Awesome.
you guys made the lucky 8, the infinity sideways.
Ooh.
So this episode is
that.
just
It's
gonna
infinity sideways.
it's-
I never looked at it
deep.
like that.
yeah, and it's gonna be out in the ether, and it's gonna be traveling far. So everybody watching in tonight, thank you again, and Francis Blume, thank you, Ace Pelka. Go check out the new video part on Thrasher Creative Control if you haven't already. And
Maybe we do that little little fade out jam. What
oh,
do you
it's
thinking?
yeah.
You
So we're
thinking?
gonna fade
Yeah.
out on a jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
This
Yeah,
is gonna
we
be
got
fun.
Ace got a little surprise
improv.
for us. Got the old woodwind.
Little native flute.
So we've
I might
experimented with
squeak
this.
a little. Just a heads up.
We've experimented with this a few times, a little jam session at the end. So
15th time we played this song, right, guys?
yeah, right.
All right.
Got the old
All right, like
battle.
rehearsal.
Whatever song this is.
Song.
Yeah, just like rehearsal, guys. Let's get it.
You do your thing.
You started off. Yeah.
You do your thing because I don't like. I mean,
Kind of
you-
just freestyle.
Yeah, Ace.
That's like that.
Ace, get it. We'll follow you.
Okay. And maybe we get a little tempo.
Woo! That was awesome.